yes, and people have said like, okay, I want to look good because yes, it does help with confidence and attraction. If you have a partner, if you have a spouse, it does help with that. We won't deny that. But we also have to look at the most important reason. It is about what's going on inside you. That is what health is about. That is what fitness and health is about. And that's why now these days I don't the idea of like bodybuilding being called like fitness and that's its own category. That's like its own industry where you have people taking drugs, steroids, and that's not fitness, that's not health. That's something completely different. It shouldn't even be classified as part of the fitness industry. And I say this seriously as someone who's actually done bodybuilding with the idea thinking that it's about fitness. But the moment you start talking about taking synthetics, including peptides, you're teetering in a different realm because you're doing something that is counter to your health, counter to your fitness. Because looking good, it's kind of like how you look at those people on Instagram that are flashing their jets, their Lamborghinis, and they rent them, but then they make them appear to be their own and they fake the success and they tell you that, oh, I did this, and they start lying to people that they succeeded by doing XYZ and they bought these cars, these mansions, all these jets. So it's very similar to that, where you have people that paint this picture of success. And that happens with bodybuilding because a lot of people in bodybuilding, they paint this picture of fitness, of health with their bodies. But while they're injecting themselves with synthetics, changing and altering their DNA, damaging their organs. Same thing with what's happening with GLP-1s. Because right now, a lot of people are taking GLPs, and GLPs are for people who are actually diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, which can be managed with fasting as well. Like, obviously, I'm not a doctor. Uh, this is not medical information or advice, but I'm just talking about this for entertainment purposes only. So it's important. This is my disclaimer. So it's important for you to realize that a lot of people pushing, telling you, oh, yeah, to manage your weight. No, 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 no. It's not for anyone who wants to manage their weight. They're blanketing this to weight management. Even then, for someone with type 2 diabetes, they're supposed to try metformin and they're supposed to use diet and exercise. It's not just to take that on its own. So these are things that people are not talking about. They're not giving this information to people, but they're just pushing these drugs on people. Very little research has been done on these drugs because majority of the these drugs haven't been in the population for more than the ones I've looked at. They only tested with people that are over 75 years old. So you haven't tested with a large sample group of people who are still looking to have kids, people who are still developing and they don't know what's going to happen with like cancer. They don't have enough data to say, does this cause maybe some sort of cancer? Because some people have been reported to have like GI tract issues, so like your intestines, and does that lead to colon cancer? So the information is limited, and people going on and taking these GLP-1s, and probably the same people who are like, no, I'm not going to get the vax during the pandemic. because of this research and whatnot, because they're like, no, this is something new. Like they were like, okay, hesitant, but they are going on to take these GLP-1s. I see the irony in that is just crazy because it's like, so now you trust them? Huh? You trust this pharmaceutical company now? Interesting. So these are things that people are not necessarily paying attention to, but important things to pay attention to. And again, the purpose that I want us to have this conversation is for us to really understand fitness, to understand health, what it means. Because how we look, our fitness, our physical bodies show, or at least symbolize, our dedication to living a healthy lifestyle. And by living a healthy lifestyle, it also means that we have to be authentic. Authentic in the way that we approach our fitness and call it what it is. If it's something that supports your health, you say, yes, it supports my health. Because just looking good is not the end goal. To like be, it's not healthy as well to just stay lean year round. It's not healthy. You still need a level of fat on your body. You still need to build your muscle. You still need to support your functions, your bodily functions, your hormones. You need to support that. These are all things that are required for your body to survive and to sustain itself. So even if your abs don't really show, it's fine because everything is going to be different for some other people because some people work physical jobs and they're just going to naturally have a leaner body fat percentage. And some people naturally have higher heart rates. And I've noticed people with higher heart rates, they tend to move a lot. They don't sit and they tend to be a bit leaner. So your resting heart rate, if it's higher. And so people get those jitters, right? Like when they drink coffee, because it also increases their heart rate. So different people, based on their own genetics, they behave differently and end up burning fat and using fuel and energy differently. So these are important things. The minor things that I mean, not minor, they're kind of major, but these are the details that you can start fine tuning for yourself. Because if you don't understand these details about yourself, and then you go and take a drug to try and help you manage your weight and try and manage how you look without understanding these details about yourself, like how your body responds, you've got a bigger problem and you're not addressing it. Trying to take a shortcut. Shortcuts don't work. They don't work. You have to put in the work.